Hey everyone, today I'm gonna teach you which champions you want to have on your team when you're picking Shen. You don't always first pick, and sometimes you're the last pick in the champ select. You see you enter a team comp, and you want to know, well, does Shen work with my teammates or does it not work with my teammates? It's very important to know if you want to maximize your elo gain and get to that division that you never reached before. Alright, let's start out with the junglers. So for junglers, what you want to look at is champions like Olaf. Olaf is amazing with Shen because Olaf goes all in. And when you have a champion that goes all in, it works really well with Shen Ultimate because now you can start making plays and it becomes really easy to make those plays. And then another reason why Olaf is great is because when you play with Olaf, he is a healing bot. And Olaf having that little bit of tankiness from your ultimate makes him extremely powerful because he heals all the time and he's strong in the lower health he is. And against auto attackers, you also have your W to help him out so he doesn't get auto attacked down. Next up we have Hecarim, very similar to Olaf. Hecarim is amazing with Shen. The reason Hecarim is especially good with Shen is because his ultimates are absolutely amazing for diving bot lane. Then you Shen ultimate on top of him and the enemies can't escape. This is how you generally want to snowball games with a Hecarim player. Now we have a little bit of a different champion, Ivern. So Ivern is a champion you wouldn't really think works really well with Shen because he doesn't fit the same agenda as Olaf and Hecarim by going all in. The reason Ivern is super good is because his golem is overpowered and his golem is amazing at diving bot lane. So similar to Hecarim, the reason you want to play Shen with Ivern is because you go for bot lane dives. And once you get those dives going with the Shen ultimate, you can start snowballing the game super hard and it becomes really easy to play. In this matchup, you're not looking to dominate top lane, you're just looking to dominate the other side of the map. So stay safe in lane, stay able to ultimate, and then ultimate across the map and get that bot lane ahead, because once your bot lane is ahead with Shen, the game tends to become really easy. Now we have another champion that's really good with Shen, and I actually love playing with this champion. He's good at ganking top, he's good at ganking bottom, and he's also pretty decent at ganking mid. Now the reason I love this champion is because he is super fast. It is of course Nunu. Nunu rolls across the map, he's very tanky, he's good at diving, and he works well with Shen in every regard. When you play with Nunu and you have Shen, your number one objective is generally to get dragon control. You get the dragon control and then you start dominating the map via the dragon. If you can secure that early free dragons and get a 4th dragon timer on the enemy team, it becomes almost impossible for the enemy team to play because they're under such pressure that it becomes really difficult for them. Next up we have the 5th jungler that I recommend playing Shen with. This champion is very different from the other ones, completely in every possible way. Now the reason this champion is good with Shen is because snowballing in this champion makes him extremely powerful and Shen can back him up in that regard. Also Shen have a super strong laning phase where this champion can possibly come up and sneak some very nice kills. Now the champion you're talking about is obviously Kha'Zix, one of the kings of assassins in the jungle. He is insane with Shen. If you get Kha'Zix going, he's going to snowball the game and he's going to carry the game all alone. What you generally want to look at with a Kha'Zix player is if you can actually combine with a mid laner that can also snowball, because then you can Shen ultimate mid lane and try and get that going. Or you can pick up some kills in the top lane. That's generally where I'd want to play with a Kha'Zix. I don't think you want to play bot lane too much. Alright, we went over the junglers, now it's time to talk about mid laners, and mid laners are very different from junglers because it's not all about ganking bot lane, it's mostly about the mid lane, to be honest. So what you want to look at with mid laners and Shen is the first one, Katarina. Katarina is absolutely amazing, she's good at going in, she got tons of damage, and if she gets a couple of kills, she takes over the game. Shen have a strong laning phase, which means Katarina can also roam top and get kills up there, which is something she loves to do. Katarina tends to like pushing out the lane and roaming a lot. She also likes getting solo kills in lane, which are two aspects that Shen can actually support her in. Next mid laner we have Sett. Sett is another assassin similar to Katarina, a little bit different where he's more focused on solo killing than roaming as much, but he can also roam quite decently. He's also decent at roaming bot lane because his ultimate is really good at staying alive while quickly getting in, doing the damage and getting out. Now one thing that's very different about Sett is he's also a very good split pusher. So what you can do with Sett is you can have Shen top or bot lane, then you can have Sett on the opposite side of the map. In the meantime, you have the rest of your team in the mid lane. Now by playing this style, you can actually support Sett and getting those solo kills. So he's going to go in on the opponent 1v1, trying to get a kill, and then you have the Shen ultimate to support him if he ever needs it. This is an extremely strong strategy to use, and it's very hard for the opponents to play against it. Now we have a little bit of a different style again. We have Anivia as the next champion. The reason Anivia is very good with Shen is because Anivia can always defend tower. You will never lose your tower with Anivia, it's almost impossible. And having a strong split pusher like Shen, then Anivia is very powerful because now you can let your AD carry scale if you have a scaling AD carry, or you can also be looking for big plays because Anivia is actually amazing at engaging and following up. She's really good at catching people with her wall, and even if she doesn't catch people with her wall, she's really good at following up with a massive stun if her teammate catches one, potentially the jungler or the support. Alright, enough about Froggen's champion and Nivea. Let's get into the next one, Diana. Diana is a champion that's absolutely amazing. She's very similar to Katarina and Zed in the way that she wants to snowball, she wants to go in, and she wants to kill people. Now, Diana also snowballs extremely well, just like Katarina and Zed. Now, Diana can be played in somewhat of a mixture of those two champions if she gets ahead. So what Diana can do is you can split push like the Zed is doing, but this super cool thing is after you push out the lane as Diana, she can go into the mid lane, and then you can ultimate on top of her and she can actually engage the team fight because her ultimate is super strong for engaging team fight, and she might have a Sonius at that point, which means she can't die anyways. Very, very powerful strategy to use. Next up we have Echo, the 5th mid lane champ that I recommend with Shen. The reason for that is because similar to all the other champs, he can go in all the time, but he's also the safest one, so he can just go in, play extremely aggressive, get your Shen ultimate if it's good, and if it's not good, he ultimates back out, which means you get a lot of extra opportunities to make huge plays, and even if they're failing, it's not a big deal. Alright, now I want to talk about some AD carries that I consider very good with Shen. The first living picture is going to be Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is amazing with Shen, and the reason for that is because she is very, very snowbally. And she got slightly a weak laning phase, but she's very good at going in, which means you can Shen ultimate on top of her, and she can just jump right into the fight, and you can catch them off guard really easy. So what you want to do here is kind of wait till she's level 6, and then hopefully she have an engaging support. Could be a Fresh, could be Leona, a lot of different champions. And then that's the point where you want to make plays. You can ultimate the Kai'Sa, she goes all in. You don't even need to ultimate the support in this case because the AD carry tends to go in when it's a Kai'Sa, and then you tend to get a double kill bot lane. Now, one thing I want to note, if you do play the Kai'Sa, try not to take the kills when you're ultimating down, because if she gets them, she's going to carry the game. If you get them, it's going to be kind of nice, but not as effective. Now, next up, we have Jhin. Jhin is just overpowered right now. He works really well with Shen because he's super safe all the time. You're generally not looking to ultimate the Jhin, but more so the support when you're playing for Jhin. Now, the thing that's really cool about Jhin is he got his ultimate with super long range. When you're ultimating support, you can mostly always catch people, because even if he's not in range, he can ultimate, shoot them, slow them, and damage them, which is very beneficial. And he got 4 hits, which is a lot of mini slows coming out there. Next living picture is MF. MF is also really, really good. Again, you have to play around the support, you taunt them, and then you quickly get the kills. Now, when you play with an MF, I don't think it's a big deal if you take those kills. If you have a lane that you can snowball in, I would actually recommend taking the kills. So she's a little bit different from the other ones. Now, another cool thing with MF that I want to talk about is she's extremely good at diving. Her ultimate is absolutely phenomenal at diving bot lane. So if you have one of the junglers we mentioned that are good at diving bot lane as well, in this case, Shen becomes even stronger because now you have a strong bot lane that's good at diving, the strong jungler, and you have the Shen ultimate to follow up. Isn't that just a fantastic scenario? Alright, now we're changing direction a little bit. We're going to talk about Vayne. Vayne is good with Shen because she is very, very powerful as an individual champion. She snowballs extremely well. Her laning phase is kind of oof, so she needs a little bit of help there, which Shen provides. And if she starts snowballing and you can keep her safe without ultimating team fights, she's going to kill the entire enemy team. So all you got to do here is honestly just try and keep Vayne alive. You don't really need to ultimate too much to get massive kills or anything like that. Of course, if you can do it, you should do it. But often it's very difficult to make it happen with Vayne. Now we're going to talk about the ultimate tier engaging champion for AD carries, Ashe. Ashe is amazing with Shen because her arrow, you can ultimate on cooldown pretty much. So you can go bot lane whenever you want, as long as you know you have decent numbers. Now what I recommend doing is actually pushing our top, basing or not even basing potentially, but definitely pushing our top, then look at bot lane and ask your Ashe arrow, and then you ultimate in and you just force the fight. Forcing fights with Ashe is really, really beneficial because it's super easy to do. She misses the arrow, so what? You don't lose that much. You base and you go top anyways. You had already pushed in the minion wave, so it's completely fine. Alright, now we get to the beautiful supports that need some love too. So the supports that I recommend playing Shen with, the first one is Fresh. Fresh is amazing because he's super safe in bot lane with his lantern. He can always save his AD carry if need be. He's also very good at engaging. So overall, there's just a lot of tools that works really well with Shen, because this means the AD carry can play aggressive, you can be ready to ultimate whenever you need, and if it goes really bad, well, you'll just lantern out and everything is okay. Now another champion that I think is good with Shen but is kind of different is Lulu. And Lulu is different because she's more safe and she's not really that crazy in things. But what she's actually quite good at is she's quite good at diving if you have CC jungler. Because when the jungler comes bot lane, her ultimate keeps people alive and is super strong and it knocks 2 people up in most cases. So she is really good for diving. I do recommend that you look at what jungler you have, and you kind of have a jungler that can dive and have the CC somewhat, because Lulu can't do it alone. Now let's talk about another crazy engage champion, Leona. Leona, it says itself, you hard engage every time she can, and then you Shen ultimate and you get kills. You look to snowball bot lane, and if you snowball, you win the game. If you don't, well, it's going to be a little bit difficult at this point, but yeah, that's what you want to look at with Leona. And it's time for one of my favorite top laners, Maokai. I love this champion. The reason he's good with Shen is actually because of his saplings. So what you can do in this case is Maokai is really good at objective control, Dragon and Baron. The saplings are extremely powerful. So what you're generally looking to do here is actually to split push, as the Shen wants to do in some cases if you want to get ahead. Hope you have a good match up top where you can split push. And then you're just looking to ultimate to the objectives, Baron or Dragon, and it should be somewhat easy for you to win team fights because you have the sapling advantage. You have the Shen ultimate, which is always faster than the TP, and the opponent might not even have TP in this case. So getting objectives, focusing around that, and dominating the game via objectives is what you want to do with Maokai. Now the final champion I want to talk about for support is Seraphine. Seraphine is really good with Shen. And the reason for this is actually a completely different reason from every other champion. What you want to do with Seraphine is you want to counter gank. Seraphine's ultimate is amazing when people are ganking her. Her crowd control is huge and very long, so what you can often do is the enemy tries to dive bot lane, Seraphine ultimate, Shen ultimate, maybe a jungle also comes down, maybe not, but you can pick up a lot of kills by doing so. So in this matchup, just look to dominate top, look to push out top as much as you can, and be ready to ultimate bot lane for the counter ganks. Counter ganking with Seraphine is the best way to win the game. Now this is a new kind of guide, I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, leave a comment about what champions you like playing Shen with, and I'll see you next time. Peace.